And then and now I feel like we're the favorites going into Phoenix after winning this race and knowing what that means. It's just wild how quick things can turn into sport. It's like I said last year when we got knocked out. You just got to stay alive long enough through the playoffs for it to matter. Our team did a great job doing that again.
NASCAR fans, are you ready to talk about that wild race in Las Vegas? South Point 400 was a straight-up thriller. You think you've seen it all in NASCAR? Nah, you ain't seen nothing yet. We're talking fuel strategy, heartbreaks, and major playoff implications. Joey Logano might have only led 6 laps, but man, those were the most important ones. Can we talk about how this dude just secured his championship 4 spot, snatching that checkered flag right out from under Christopher Bell's nose with some slick fuel-saving moves while everyone else was scrambling? Christopher Bell dominated the day, but it just wasn't enough. Leading 155 laps and still finishing second. How does that even happen? What was up with that? And how about Logano coming in clutch after almost getting bounced from the playoffs just a week ago? Crazy, right? But hold up, there's more to this story. Kyle Larson's pit crew hit a speed bump that nearly wrecked his whole race. And let's not forget the chaos with Reddick, Blaney, and Elliott. It was a rough day for some of the playoff drivers. So let's break it down. Did Logano's crew outsmart everyone? Or was it just plain luck? And can Bell bounce back in the next 2 races to lock his championship 4 spot? How did Logano snatch the win from Christopher Bell? And what went down with the other playoff drivers like Kyle Larson and Denny Hamlin? Stick around, because we're about to break it all down for you. First off, let's paint the picture. Vegas was lit on Sunday. And we all knew this round of 8 playoff race would be crucial. With the championship 4 spots on the line, every lap, every pit stop, every drop of fuel mattered more than ever. And guess who came out on top? That's right, Joey freaking Logano, pulling out a victory that no one saw coming.
What an incredible turn of events here, Les. We got the Joe Kids crew here today, and a lot of kids rooting us on, so it was really special to win in front of them again. Kids at home, I wish you guys were out here, but we're going to the championship 4 again. I don't know what the deal's with the even year thing, but maybe it's real.
Before the race even started, we had our eyes on Christopher Bell. He came out guns blazing, snagging the pole position and flexing that Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota dominance. But here's the kicker. Bell led a whopping 155 laps. The dude was on fire, looking like he'd cruise straight into victory lane. But as we've learned time and time again in NASCAR, it ain't over until it's over. Now let's talk about Joey Logano and his mastermind of a crew chief, Paul Wolfe. You know that feeling when you're watching a heist movie and the plot twist leaves you shook? Yeah, that was Logano's last 6 laps at Vegas. Bell had the lead, he had the speed, but Logano's pit crew was playing chess while everyone else was playing checkers. So here's what went down. Joey's Penske Ford came in for a pit stop about 35 laps earlier than Bell. By the time Bell pitted, Logano had built up a monster 30-second lead. Bell was fast, no doubt, but he couldn't close that gap in the final laps. And bam, Logano crosses the line, takes the checkered flag, and punches his ticket to the championship 4. Fuel strategy, y'all. It's a beautiful thing when it works. Now, we got a feel for Christopher Bell here. The guy dominated this race like nobody's business, but came up just short. It's like running a marathon and then tripping right before the finish line. Oof, Bell said it himself. His team did everything right. He had the car, the pit crew nailed it, and Adam Stevens, his crew chief, called a near-perfect race. But in NASCAR sometimes, doing everything right still isn't enough. Bell was gutted after the race, saying he couldn't wrap his head around it.
I don't know, and I don't think I've come to terms yet. I don't know, just a bummer. I think everyone on this team did everything perfect today. This thing was obviously on rails. Pit crew did an amazing job. Adam called a great race. Did everything we needed to put this Ream camera in victory lane, and unfortunately it wasn't meant to be today.
Just a bummer, he said, and you can't blame him. It's hard when you lead the most laps and win a stage, but don't get to celebrate in victory lane. Still, the points look good for Bell. He's got a solid lead heading into Homestead, but you never know with this playoff format. A win would have locked him into the championship 4, and now he's got to sweat it out. If you're as hyped as we are about the NASCAR playoffs, make sure to drop your predictions in the comments, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell for the latest NASCAR news and driver stories. Let's talk about the other drivers who were gunning for that win. Daniel Suárez, y'all, came through with a solid 3rd place finish. He was another dude playing the fuel mileage game, and honestly, he might have snuck in there for the win if things had gone a little differently. Suárez has been having a sneaky good playoff run, and this result in Vegas just adds to his momentum. Look out for Trackhouse Racing in the next 2 races. They're hungry. Then we had William Byron and Alex Bowman rounding out the top 5. Byron's been Mr. Consistent lately, and that's why he's still in this playoff hunt. Bowman, though, man, talk about a roller coaster. Just a week ago, he was disqualified after the Charlotte race, opening the door for Logano to stay in the playoffs, but he bounced back in Vegas with a top 5 finish. even though it probably stings to watch Logano win the race he thought he'd be competing for. And Denny Hamlin, dude's always a factor. Despite a rough day on pit road, Hamlin still managed to finish 8th, using the same fuel strategy as Logano. It wasn't his best day, but you can never count out Hamlin in the playoffs. He's just outside the Championship 4 cut line, but don't sleep on him. Martinsville is coming, and you know Hamlin's got a thing for that track. Alright, we've got to talk about Kyle Larson because his day was straight up wild. Larson rolled into Vegas as one of the favorites, but it all went south during that pit stop on lap 125. If you blinked, you might have missed the chaos, but here's the quick and dirty breakdown. Larson's crew got cold feet mid-stop. The rear tire carrier wasn't sure if the right rear tire was secure, so they stopped everything and went back to fix it. In the confusion, they left the left rear tire unchanged. Yeah, you heard that right. One tire didn't get swapped. Larson had to come back to pit road, dropping him 2 laps down. Talk about frustrating. But in classic Larson fashion, he fought his way back, taking advantage of a caution to get the free pass and somehow clawed his way to an 11th place finish. He's still 35 points above the cut line. But man, that pit stop could have wrecked his day and his championship hopes. Not everyone had a bounce back day like Larson though. Tyler Reddick, man, he was on the verge of having a killer day. But lap 89 brought disaster. Reddick got caught up in a wreck with Chase Elliott and Brad Keselowski, ending his day in 35th place. Reddick is now 30 points below the cut line. And while he's not out of it yet, it's gonna take a perfect race at Homestead or Martinsville to have a shot at the Championship 4. Chase Elliott, another tough day. After that wreck, Elliott is now 53 points below the cut line. Yeah, he's pretty much in a must-win situation for the next 2 races. It's a rough way to end what's been a bumpy season for the 9 team. And don't forget about Ryan Blaney. He had to start from the back after wrecking his primary car in practice, and then got swept up in that same wreck with Reddick and Elliott. Blaney finished 32nd and is now 47 points below the cut line. It's not looking good for the reigning Cup Series champ. So, where do we go from here? Homestead-Miami is up next, and let's not forget that Christopher Bell won there last year. He's gonna be gunning for redemption after Vegas, and you know Larson is itching to lock himself into the Championship 4. Martinsville will be the final battleground, and you just know that race is gonna be pure chaos. Who's gonna thrive? Who's gonna survive? It's anyone's guess at this point. Joey Logano's got his spot locked in, but the fight for the remaining 3 spots is going to be a dogfight. Can Bell, Larson, and Byron hold on? Or will Hamlin, Reddick, or Blaney pull off an upset? Alright, NASCAR Nation, what do you think? Was Joey Logano's fuel strategy a stroke of genius, or did Bell deserve to take that win? We're heading to Homestead next, and trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming. Who's gonna step up at Homestead and Martinsville? And who do you think's next to lock in their Championship 4 spot? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let's get this discussion rolling. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe for more interesting stories and updates from everything NASCAR. Do share this video with your friends. Until next time, keep the conversation going on, lucky dog on track.